And we're back. Today we're going to observe a decent portion of elements simultaneously, specifically the ones that revolve around the subject of team awareness. Now the minigame is going to feel slightly harder than the first two, but don't worry, because as you should know by now, the whole purpose of the minigame is not to obtain good results, but to reveal subtle elements that you may have overlooked in the past. And remember, the goal is to simply observe and explore, so that you can combine this knowledge and abuse what you believe to be useful and discard what's not. So I'm going to assume you understand the nature of these minigames, and for that reason, this time I'll focus more on talking about what to expect, while my own attempt plays in the background for you to watch. So let's get straight to it. What's the name of this minigame? This one is called Guardian Angel, and the aim of this minigame is to choose a squad member of your choice, then protect them throughout the rest of the match. Your objective will be to move around with them and participate in their fights as much as possible. So what's the rules? The rules of this minigame is to select a squad member within the first 30 seconds of the game, then play as their Guardian Angel throughout the rest of the match. In other words, protect them. That means no matter how they play, you stay loyal and you stick with them. Remember, you chose them. Bonus points for whenever you both shoot at the same enemy or return fire for them. The main purpose is to have you focus on subtle elements such as their behavior. Try to see how often you can correctly anticipate their next moves to keep up with them. What you're trying to understand is what type of player they are. Even within Apex Legends, understanding body language is very much a thing. Ultimately, you're trying to understand their philosophy in very little time. Some questions to ask yourself are, do they notice you and how often? Do they use you on the battlefield? Do they look at you? And do they even love you? What you should expect is a great number of desyncs. Now this is a good thing. Why? Because we're only here to observe and try to understand. Specifically, to understand how desyncs are created and what we can do to mitigate this element. Now I want to be clear, your squad member dying is not a failure in any way. Failing to understand where and what your squad member of choice is doing is the failure. What you'll have to do is find a way to periodically update yourself on where your squad member of choice is throughout the match. And when you do this, try to notice how often other elements in the game take your focus away. You'll eventually start to develop the habit of checking up on your squad member by looking at them. This is what we call refreshing. Again, experiment with this. Try to figure out the best time to perform refreshes that allow you to keep track of your squad member while also being aware of your own surroundings. I'll give you a tip for this minigame. Disregard your own health and fight when they fight. Let their behavior move you as much as their actions. You don't need health to play Guardian Angel, you just need to be there. Try not to focus on whether you win or lose fights. Instead, focus on what you're able to witness. Reflecting on the outcomes is fine, so long as you try to understand the what and the how something happened. Pay attention to the dynamics that you create. Allow yourself to be put in bad situations. Again, this is all about observation. I hope what's highlighted is how much control you don't have over your team members, yet how much can be understood by just looking at them. Hopefully in the end, you'll be able to build upon your own understanding as to what team awareness really is and how to use it. There is a lot that I hope this shows you, so try to enjoy it. Okay, this is the end of the video. I understand this is one of the more difficult minigames, as it's so easy to simply lose focus, but in my opinion, it's still a basic skill that can and should be worked on as early as possible. So give it a shot, let us know how you do, and again, thank you and goodbye.